Maria, and welcome to my lovely city garden in 2026. It's January here in Massachusetts, and we are covered in snow. January is also the month where I stop planting my garden. Today's video is going to be all about seeds. Step one in any garden plan is deciding what to grow and how to grow. I'm growing vegetables, herbs, and flowers, and I like to start from scratch. It's not only cheaper than buying plants, the satisfaction of taking tiny seeds and turning them into productive plants is awesome. Before I start looking for seed deals, I go through what I already have and make a list of what I still need. I'll share that process with you. But first, check out how I got free seeds this year. So another thing I wanted to do was come out and harvest all the seeds from the marigolds. I'm not sure if it's too late. Oh yeah, those don't look good at all. Yeah, that sucks. That was my bad there. I did get some. I don't know if I got some earlier in the summer, and I don't even remember where I put them. But I still got some left from 2024, so I'll still have seeds to make more marigolds. I never got out here to get all these seeds out of the way. They still look okay. Those are the black ones. I do want to save some of these seeds. I do have some in a jar in the house already, but there are so many. So besides just trying to get them not on the ground, I want to save them for future use because they are beautiful, and I'll just put them in pots. Okay, these are the morning glories I grew last year. And from what I can tell, these are the seeds from that. So I am going to try to carefully grab the whole bunch. There's only a few bunches, because I definitely want to try these again, since I thought they were failing forever, but then I eventually got flowers in October. Alright, so this jumble of mess here is some of the seeds from the morning glory I had in the garden. These are the ones that I grew myself, had in pots, but I also have a lot of the purple that I had out there growing that volunteered, but I want to start off with this one. And I don't know much about collecting seeds. I haven't done it much, but from what I can see, it's just the black seeds inside. So this is what they look like when they're out there on, still hanging on the plant. All the flowers that were there, they turn into these buds. And once those are all dried out, black, you're able to pluck them out. Now, normally, this is usually done in the fall, I believe. And I've waited a little too long. But they still feel very viable. And by that, I mean they're hard. And there were some buds that I found out there where inside the seed that I found was soft, and those definitely won't work. But these, I believe, will. So I'm going to collect all of the black seeds, put it in my little morning glory bag, and we will start them indoors soon. I'm just going to crumble a pot, so I could probably just kind of blow some of that away. And we're left with just these little black seeds. And it could be I waited too long to take them off the vine. However, these are perennials. So, normally, no one would be out there picking them off. They would just fall to the ground and become volunteer plants. So I ended up with 50 seeds. Just a little bit that I grabbed from the couple of plants that were in pots. Okay, so here we have the morning glory that was a volunteer around my yard. The pretty, beautiful morning glory. I had gone through and grabbed these off the plant. And just sitting in this pan I had them sitting in. I actually did this back a couple months ago. And they just kind of fell apart. So they were in all these little buds. They kind of just fell apart. So this part's easy for me. I'm just going to kind of shake them a little bit and get all of this papery stuff out of here and bag them up. That's a lot of seeds. Let's count them. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 32. Just kidding. Just right here is 32. About that. We'll just write on it, a shitload of purple morning glory seeds. So I just remembered I had these. So I was in my sister's yard over the summer. It was getting late in the summer, and some of her white daisies, I wanted to grab some of the seeds from them. The flowers already looked done for, which is what you're looking for from what I've learned when you're trying to get some flower seeds, because you want the nutrients to really go through the stem and into the flower pods. But this is what I have. See, so from what I've seen, you should just be able to pull these, and these should all be the seeds. I guess only time will tell. I'm definitely going to try them. Could be they didn't develop into seeds yet, because I thought they were a bit smaller. Since they're perennials, what I wanted to do is kind of spread them in the areas where I want them to grow, and hope just nature will take its course and germinate them and grow. Well, that's going to be a pain to kind of sift through, but I think I'll just, do the best I can. Put it in a big bag and be done with it. All of this is viable seed. That is a lot. So let's see what the future brings. The next one we have, which is kind of silly, is peas. So when I put my peas out this year, I had 4 different varieties. They were kind of old, so I wanted to make sure I got them all out. I put them all in a little section, and I kind of mismatched them. So I don't really know what these are. And I don't save the pods for seeds. Obviously, if I had seen these, I would have pulled them off and ate them. But I found these later in the season. The pods all yellow, and peas inside are ready to grow on for next year. So, like I said, I don't know which ones they are. This will be a little experiment to see if they will grow. And altogether, we have 6, and they pretty much all look exactly the same. I wanted to get them packaged up. I don't even need to label this one because I don't know the type anyway. And I obviously am going to know that they're peas because they look just like peas. Alright, so these here, I am not exactly sure what they are. I had bought flowers at a nursery and had them in pots outside, and I think that's what this is. They look similar to marigolds, but the heads are a lot bigger than my marigold. So these here, I took off as they were drying up in the summer. And just like marigolds, I believe I should be able to just, I just twist it a little bit, and all of that is seed. So I do need to make sure I find out what type of flower this is. I know I have a record of it somewhere. But I need to know if it's an annual or a perennial. I need to know when I sow it, if it needs any cold stratification. What that means is it needs a time period of being cold and then warm up to germinate correctly. So just like the weather is here in New England, gets warm in the summer, cold in the winter. So plants that typically grow back every year, perennials, will act the same way, as far as I know. So I need to find out what they are. But there are so many seeds in here. And the flowers were like wicked pretty, so if I can get these to grow again, that would be great. Anything I can do to I eliminate buying flowers and buying seeds. That's why I ended up picking up those white daisies from my sister's house, because free seeds. All right, we'll get these bagged up. I'm going to label them flowers and pots until I can figure that out, because my memory is not good. I am not going to remember. And I'll probably look at these and say, oh, are those marigolds? Okay, so that's that for that. My fingers smell like these flowers now. So these are definitely the ones I'm thinking of, because I remember them stinking like this, even though they were gorgeous. So this is the bag of marigold from 2024. I used a lot of them and still have plenty left for last year's garden, 2025 garden. And I will be using them this year as well, 2026. Now every year the viability will go probably lower. So I'll just plant extras, because as you can see, there are extras. Did the same thing last year because I didn't really store them correctly last year. I just kind of threw them in one of these jars with the thing open, and I mean 2 years ago. And they still grew new flowers. Next, I'm going to pull these apart, keep them separate, because I can't remember if they were new to this year, or if they're the other flowers, or if they're marigolds from previous years or this year. So I'm just going to name them flowers in the jar. These look like regular marigold size. I mean, they're probably all marigolds in this jar, at least, because I can't see myself throwing other flowers in a jar with my bag of marigolds, unless I was freaking cleaning up one day and just saw that with a couple of things and threw that in there. I really can't tell what I might do. All right, we're gonna label these, like I said, the flowers in the jar. Most likely marigolds. So here's what I have for my saved seeds. I don't save too many seeds. I have enough going on with getting the garden growing, taking care of it, harvesting, cleaning up. So this is just a little extra because I want to try new things and I want to try to get as many free flowers as possible. So I have some flowers that I had gotten from a greenhouse, and as they were dying off, I grabbed some of those. I have marigolds from 2023 and 2024 in here. I'm pretty sure it's just 2024, but I could be wrong. I have white daisies I got from my sister's, from her yard. I'm not even sure they're going to work or if these are the seeds, but it looks like it from what I looked up. I'm hoping that works. We have some marigolds, I believe, or other flowers that were in the same vase as the marigolds. I have them separate just in case. And some peas. And got them all in plastic bags. I'm going to store them away. And now I just need to research how some of these grow from seed. Obviously marigolds, I know. I know peas. But for some of these, others might have some extra steps I need to go through, like that cold stratification I was talking about. So I'll do some research. When it's time, we'll get these growing. First thing I need to do is go through all of my seeds from last year. So some of the seeds I still have plenty of. Some seeds I've used all, but I still keep the packages because I want to go through and take notes of what I grew last year for future use. And then also I want to keep track of what I have still in the packages, so I know what I have left to grow and what I need to order. So I made my list of all the seeds I have left, and I made another list of all the seed packets that were empty, and kept notes of what happened with them as much as I can remember. I did that with the rest of the stuff as well. And that's just going to help me with deciding on what I want to grow. Will it be worth it to grow? You know, things like that. Alright, sorting's all done. That was fun. And I got to sit down and write down all the seeds I have, the seeds I ran out of, and for both lists I made notes of how they did. For instance, I have 10 different types of tomatoes that I grew, and there were a couple of them that didn't do so well. Even though I'm going to try to grow them again this year and hope for the best, I want to keep the notes so then next year, if they didn't do well again, maybe these tomatoes are just not for me. I did the same for stuff that I was out of. I wrote down things that I liked. I have some zucchini that I have, even though I have some left, I do want to buy the same kind again because they came out great. I bought these cucumber seeds last year. They were these lemon kind. I thought it was pretty cool. I direct seeded these outside. Didn't do so well. So things like that I wanted to keep notes of. And when it comes to what I do grow in my garden, I'm pretty much a vegetable garden. I like to have flowers, especially marigolds and different things that are going to be beneficial to the vegetable plants. I like to grow herbs. Some things I've been good at, some things have not been so good. I also kept notes of that. The other thing I included in my notes on all the seeds I have left is when I got them. Now, most seeds are going to last you for years. The seed packets come with tons of seeds. I'm not sure about you. I have a small garden. When I'm growing, I'm only going to grow a few of what I need. Some things are very productive, and with not having a ton of space, I really need to limit what I grow of each variety. So I would rather have a few different types of tomatoes rather than a bunch of all the same tomatoes. Every year, I like to add more and more things to my garden. So if I don't have those seeds, I'll go out and grab them, and then I tend to go out and find seeds of the things that I need and end up with more than I need. Now, there are a few type of things that don't last that long. One of the things being peas, another thing's being spinach. Last year I ran out of all my peas, so I need to get more peas anyway. But even though I have a few different varieties of spinach, I have been struggling with getting spinach to grow, and I started doing a little bit of research, and it seems that their seed viability only lasts about a year or two. So maybe my seeds are too old, so I definitely want to pick up some spinach. Now, if you have old seed packets and you're not sure if they're still viable, and if you're not sure what that means is, are they going to germinate or not? You can always check them before just putting them in the dirt. You can take some of the seeds, put them in wet paper towels, in a plastic bag, check the package on how long they're supposed to germinate in, say 5 to 7 days. You want to go back in and check them in 5 to 7 days and see if they germinated. You'll be able to tell. The seed pod will open and you'll start to see a little bit of a root coming out. And that way you'll be able to tell if these seeds are actually going to work for you. Now, I have some seed packets that I have had for many, many years, and they are still working for me. So even if you're not sure and you don't want to waste your time testing them first, I would still check them out and see if they grow. What's it going to hurt? For instance, here's a seed pack from 2022. I grew these last year and I got lettuce from them. So that's pretty old and they're still growing. I won't go over everything I'm growing this year, in the garden. That'll be for another video, but I just wanted to give you some idea on what I'll be growing. I try to stick with some of the basics, and I've done that from the start, from starting my garden. Tomatoes, cucumbers, lettuce, peppers, broccoli, zucchini, and each year I try to start more and more things. This year, like I showed you before, I harvested some flowers, and I want to try flowers from seed that I got from my garden. I have had some experience in the past, like I said, with just marigolds, but this year will be a start with some of the new things. Also, most of the stuff I usually grow are annuals. That means they're just going to come up the one year, most vegetables that you have. But this year I want to try my hand on some perennial flowers. So part of the list of things I need to still pick up are going to be some of the new perennial flowers I want to try this year. Now with perennial flowers, they don't bloom the first year, and I'm going to be okay with that because eventually the rest of my yard, I want to go outside of the vegetable garden and add more flowers to the yard. Flowers that will come back year after year. So on my list of things still to get for my garden seeds will be peas, beans, because I ended up using all my beans from last year, corn. I'm not sure if I want to waste my time this year on corn. I haven't had any luck in the past. I have a ton of bell peppers still left. I probably will not be planting as much as I did this year in my 2026 garden because I want to add some hot peppers this year. Every few years my father makes a crushed hot pepper, and I want to, instead of him going out and buying them, I want to grow the peppers. Also, I want to buy some eggplant seeds. I haven't grown eggplant by seed before. I did grow eggplant last year, but I ended up buying starts, so I want to try that this year. I've already mentioned I need spinach. I want to look at some perennial flowers. I want to look at a couple of flowers that I didn't get to grow last year, alyssum. I want to look for those. And I think that was pretty much it for what I needed for seeds. That's what I wrote down. Oh, maybe carrots. And maybe if I see something else. If you've watched any of my videos in the past, you know I have a small garden and I do my best to try to stuff as much as I can in, and if I don't have enough room, go into pots. So I have to limit myself. So next time I see you, we're going shopping. Hey there. I just found out that some of the Dollar Trees have their seed packets out already, and I want to see if mine does. So I'm going to head there and see what they got available. It's the cheapest place to find seed packets around here in store, and also in my experience, I've had pretty good luck with all of the seeds I've gotten from them. So I want to start early. It's January. Let's go see what they got. Alright, I just got to my closest Dollar Tree, and usually they have all the seeds in the foyer area, and I don't see it. So I'm still going in. We'll see what happens. Oh, there they are. And they look all brand new. Let's check it out. And of course I came here without my list. Let's see how I do. So I believe that's the Swiss chard I got last year. They have different kinds of peas, beans, ooh, lavender. Even though I already have lavender, I always gotta look at it. Hot peppers, that was on the list. I don't remember if this was the same kind, but I remember the last time I grew hot peppers, I did get the seeds here at Dollar Tree. There's some more beans. Oh, eggplant. I want to stop that from seed this year. I left here without spinach. Checking 2 or 3 times looking for it, and there it is. How did I miss it? Last year I used all the peas I had, so I need all new peas. So I'm gonna probably get one of each variety. Turns out all these different peas were just 2 different types of peas. So I'm gonna get a couple of packs of each. Flowers, flowers, flowers. This whole side was flowers. So I just went through and picked a bunch that I liked. Some I've never heard of, a bunch I have heard of, and some I've actually grown from this rack. The blue morning glory that you see, those are the blue morning glory I grew in my yard. So I am so excited now that I decided to grow some flowers to get these started. So I got a little bit of footage in there. We'll go over that. I feel a little uncomfortable filming in public. I don't usually do that. So I got some film that I want to talk about some of the seeds, just of what they have available. I got more than I was anticipating getting. I had a budget of $11 and I spent, I think, $15, but I got a ton of seeds and I can't wait to go over them and get them started. Okay, so I forgot the list at home, but I think I did pretty good. I remembered the hot peppers. I got 4 different types. Okay, pretty colorful too. Oh wait, is that 4 different types? Oh, these 2 look the same. One's hot, one mild. Oh, that's going to be confusion. All right, I did remember the beans, the peas, 2 different types of peas, sugar snap and the little marvel. All the beans are pole beans that I got. Even though my purple bush beans were pretty great, I thought it was kind of hard to harvest from them. So I wanted to stick with the string beans. I got some eggplant, remember regular carrots. I still have some rainbow carrots. But that's okay. I remember cucumbers, which I don't think I discussed, but I definitely had it on my list. More peas. And then a couple of things that were not on my list was this summer squash. Even though I have some summer squash, this looks like a different variety. It's called the crookneck, and I think it's different than the last one I was growing. Plus the one I was growing is older seeds, and it didn't do that great. I only really got a couple of fruit from it last year. And tomatoes, oh my gosh. I already have 10 different types of tomatoes, but I saw these and I wanted to try them because I had 2 different types of cherry tomatoes last year, and they both varieties from the different packages grew into the same yellow pear tomatoes. So I do want to have some red tomatoes. And the Roma tomato I had last year did nothing. I'm still going to grow the other variety I have and this one, because it could just be last year was a tough year because of how hot it was. And not on the list, I got some onions. And yeah, that was the other one. No, I didn't end up getting the spinach, like I said. So I ended up getting these at Walmart. And for the rest of my Dollar Tree haul were all of these flowers. So out of all of the flowers I found at Dollar Tree, I believe this is going to be the only perennial that I found. The Shasta Daisy, but that's okay because this is one that I wanted. This is also what I believe is the kind I took from my sister's yard. So I'll be interested to see how they work out. The rest of them, I believe, are all annuals. They should all bloom this year for me. I want to thank you so much for watching my video on seeds. If you're interested in seeing how the rest of the garden turns out, feel free to subscribe. If not, that's no big deal. I'm just glad that you stood and watched this one. Have a wonderful day. Peace.